Turn.
Hello, welcome to Set for Smash Moveset Concept, and today's character is Arle Naja. Arle first debuted in 1989 in the Mado Monogatari series, which was exclusive to Japan and an RPG dungeon crawler. However, since there hasn't been a sequel since 1998, we'll be actually more referring to her more modern appearance, which was in 1991, Puyo Puyo. For those who don't know, the Puyo Puyo franchise has been vastly popular in Japan, not so much in the West, with them reskinning certain titles, making them games like Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bee Machine and Kirby Avalanche. The game has actually had the franchise in the West a couple of times before, but with not too many successes, such as Puyo Pop and Puyo Pop Fever, until its most recent debut with Puyo Puyo Tetris, crossing over with another pretty well-known puzzle game, and will soon cross over with them yet again. Unlike most puzzle games like Tetris, Puyo Puyo actually has a recurring story with different characters. Arle is the main character from the early years of the Puyo Puyo franchise. She is a spellcasting warrior who learned how to cast magic using the power of Puyo popping, and she's seen with the modern games with her cute little companion Carbuncle, who is the pet of the demon lord Satan, or as he's known in the West, the Dark Prince. Though her main role in the story has kind of changed over the years, she still helps out trying to save the world using the power of Puyos, and she's using that power of Puyos to take on Smash Brothers, and would be the first Smash Brothers character to use puzzle games in their fighting style. Moving along, let's talk about the details of Arle. Arle's not really that much tall of a character, mostly because she's a young teenager, so she is a little taller than Mario. Arle is a mid-light character with a mid-fast speed, meaning she's slightly faster than the average character. Arle's attack power is pretty average, but her knockback is actually surprisingly weak. She has an average jump height with only 2 jumps and no other movement options. The series symbol for the Puyo Puyo series is the Puyo, more importantly the green Puyo, as this one's considered like the mascot image of the Puyo Puyo franchise, reoccurring in different Puyo Puyo imagery as well as even being the main Puyo in the Puyo Puyo Twitter. Arle's victory theme is the main theme of the Puyo Puyo series, which is ironically enough, Arle's theme. This one's a unique take using a combination of the main theme from Puyo Puyo Champions with added Puyo sound effects. Arle's ability is the Puyo system, the same one that's actually used in the games. However, it'll work vastly differently from Smash Brothers. On Arle's damage meter, there'll actually appear garbage Puyos from time to time. They only appear though if you can successfully land a hit on a character. You can hold 6 garbage Puyos at a time, but they do stack up, starting up Gray Garbage Puyos, the Red Garbage Puyos, the Star Garbage Puyos, the Moon Garbage Puyos, the Crown Garbage Puyos, and of course the max level Comet Garbage Puyos. The Puyo meter is especially useful for 2 occasions. One, for certain special attacks, which I will talk about much later in this video, and also they add defense power to Arle. Considering that she is a mid-light, mid-fast character, she does not have much for defense. Depending on how much garbage Puyo you have in your meter, you can actually be weakened to certain characters' attacks and knockback ability. Of course, once when you max out to Comet, you actually have a very good chance of defenses. The defense ratio varies depending on how many garbage Puyos you have in your meter. If you get hit, you'll actually lose 1 garbage Puyo depending on what level you are. So it's all about balancing how many garbage Puyos you have in attacks, as well as how many you can actually use for battle. I should also mention, Arle won't be alone when taking on Super Smash Bros., as there is a character that's fairly similar to Arle in almost every way. And if you're familiar with the Puyo Puyo series, you know who I'm talking about.
I won't lose!
Arle won't be alone taking on Smash Brothers, as Amitie will also be joining the battle as Arle's Echo Fighter. Since Amitie will be an Echo Fighter of Arle, they will have slight differences in their abilities. Amitie first debuted in Puyo Puyo Fever, or Puyo Pop Fever in the West, in 2004, which at the time was made by Sonic Team. Sadly, that didn't work out so well. Amitie is a student of the Primp Magic School and has dreams of becoming the greatest witch in the world. She's a bit airheaded too, though there are quite a few mysteries about Amitie as well, such as she doesn't remember where she got her Puyo hat, and she actually thinks it might be alive. Don't worry, Miss Accord told her she was just thinking it all up. Or was she? I don't know, it's really confusing because of Puyo Puyo's timeline, and trust me, it's very complicated. Now back into the details, as I want to first explain this. Amitie is an Echo Fighter of Arle, so there will be quite a few similarities between both characters. Just so people know this, when I'm just referring to Arle, I'm also talking about Amitie as well. This way, so people don't get confused, because when I'm talking about both characters and why they sound so similar. They're both pretty similar, both in their weight class, speed class, as well as their jumping ability, and of course having the Puyo system. What makes Amitie different from Arle is that her attacks are weaker, but her knockback is actually pretty good. This of course has a counterbalance between both characters, having a unique type of fighting style for them. This is also properly explained when I talk about their spells later on in the moveset. So moving on to taunts, I'll talk about Arle first, then Amitie. Carbuncle will do a funny little dance, and Arle will just laugh. For her second taunt, Arle will point at the foe and say, "Let's battle!" And for her third taunt, she'll do a cute little pose while snapping her finger, summoning magic. For Amitie's taunts, her first will have her give a confused expression, mostly because she's not really the smartest person in the Puyo series. For her second taunt, it'll be similar to Arle's, but she'll say, "Let's Puyo pop!" a reference to, of course, Puyo Pop Fever. And for her final taunt, she'll actually do a happy little taunt with her fist in the air, similar to Daisy's. This is mostly because she has a similar art style that what Daisy does. For the costumes, Arle and Amitie's will of course be their default designs. For Arle's first color palette, it'll be a reference to the other third main character, Ringo. For her third color palette, it'll be a blue color palette inspired by her rival, Rule. Her fourth color palette will give her yellow hair and a bluish-white attire in reference to her rival, Witch. Color palette 5 will give her gray hair with a dark blue attire, referencing Shezo. Color palette 6 will give her bright orange hair with a green attire, referencing Puyo Puyo Chronicles main character, Arle. Costume 7 will give her green hair with a dark red attire, referencing the Dark Prince, and also Draco Centaurus. The 8th costume is an alternate outfit, which happens to be Doppelganger Arle. I chose this one over Dark Arle from Puyo Puyo 7, mostly because Doppelganger Arle is, in fact, a different character entirely. For Amitie's alternate costumes, she'll actually have a blue Puyo hat and a color palette inspired by her childhood friend, Sig. For costume 3, she'll get a green Puyo hat and a color palette inspired by her friend, Liddell. The 4th costume will give her a purple Puyo hat and a color palette inspired by another student of the Print Magic School, Clug. The 5th costume will give her a yellow Puyo hat with a color palette inspired by her rival, Rafina. The costume 6 will give her a light blue Puyo hat. This is a non-canon Puyo hat, but it's also a good reference to also the other color palette of her teacher, Miss Accord. Costume 7 is also original Puyo hat, which is a pink Puyo hat, with a color palette inspired by the Ocean Prince. The final costume is Red Amitie from Puyo Puyo 15th Anniversary. For the victory animations, Arle will do a peace sign with Carbuncle, and she'll say,
We did it, Kirby!
And Carbuncle will go,
Goo goo!
For Amitie's, her victory animation will have her do the peace sign as well, but flowers will appear. For the second victory animations, Arle will actually throw a Puyo down and cause a Puyo chain, clearing all the Puyos, and then do a victory pose. And for the final victory animation, Arle will bounce into a giant Puyo, and then they'll laugh. As a bonus, for their defeat animation, it'll be their knockout animation from the games. Moving on to the standard attacks, Arle's jab will be a 1-2 punch. It's just the simple 1-2 punch. For the dash, Arle will do a magical slash. For the side tilt, Arle will do a fist bump in reference to one of Rule's spells. As for Amitie, she'll actually just shove the foe. For the up tilt, Arle will cast a upward fire spell. It'll be a small explosion unlike a projectile. The down tilt will be a small spell cast, similar to the up tilt. For the aerial, Arle will summon a magic circle around her. The forward aerial will be similar to Ness, as she'll summon a projectile of magical energy. This could also be a slight reference to Ringo's magic specials of Sai and Kosai. For the back air, Arle will do a back kick, similar to what Rule does. As for Amitie, she'll do a back kick that's actually stronger and will have a rainbow appearing. This is a reference to Rafine. For the up aerial, Arle will throw her hands in the air and summon a lovely bouquet of flowers. It's a weaker version of their ultimate spell, Bion. As for Amitie, she'll actually summon a rainbow. This is actually a reference to Liddell's ultimate spell. For the down air, Arle will throw down a Puyo. I'll go into more detail about the Puyos later on. For the grabs, Arle will grab the foe two-handed and then do a knee jab for a hit. For the throws, they're actually a reference to how you spin Puyos in the game, so you go in a more of a rotation. So for the forward throw, Arle throws the foe clockwise. For the back throw, she throws them counterclockwise. For the up throw, she'll throw them upwards counterclockwise. And for the down throw, she'll throw them downwards clockwise, and then they'll bounce upwards. For the forward smash, Arle will summon a Puyo. For the up smash, Arle will summon a Puyo above herself. It'll disappear immediately after. And for the down smash, she'll summon 2 Puyos in between her. These smash attacks are similar to Pac-Man's. I should also talk about these moves that use the Puyo. I wanted to integrate Puyos into her moveset mostly because of the Puyo meter. So when you actually summon Puyos using certain spells, they'll actually stay on the stage. If a character happens to hit a Puyo, you'll automatically get 4 gray garbage Puyos. Just like you would in the games, sort of. Moving on to the special attacks, Arle's standard special is Puyo Drop. She'll summon 2 Puyos in front of her that'll fall clockwise into the ground. I should also note that the colors of the Puyos don't add any status abilities whatsoever, they're just color designs. But if you actually can get 4 Puyos in a row, you'll automatically go up a single Puyo rank. So if you pop 4 Puyos at once of the same color, you'll automatically go from red Puyos to a star Puyo. For the Kirby hats, Arle's is actually more unique, as Kirby will actually look like Carbuncle. A fun cute little reference since Arle actually calls Carbuncle Kirby, so I thought it'd be a fun little reference. For Amitie, it'll be her Puyo hat. It's very iconic to the series. For Arle's side special, it'll be the spells. This is where the Puyo meter actually comes into play. Arle actually has a different amount of spells that she can summon, depending on how many Puyos you go. But you need a specific Puyo to actually activate these certain spells. This is sort of a reference to the chain attacks, as you can combo Puyos to make a more powerful spell happen. Just know you'll automatically start with the first spell and then continue moving on to the next spell. However, if you don't have the certain Puyo level to use a certain spell, you'll automatically go back to the first one. You can of course use a certain spell and then wait until you have enough energy to use the next spell. So you have to properly strategize like in a puzzle game. So for the level 1 spell, which you need only 3 garbage Puyos or more, it'll be Fireball. Arle will summon 3 fireballs at once. If you have less than 3, you'll only summon a specific amount of fireballs depending on if you have 1 or 2 garbage Puyos. The level 2 spell, you need a red garbage Puyo, which is Ice Storm. Arle will summon a gust of ice that can freeze your opponents. If you have more damage, you'll be stuck in the ice longer. The level 3 spell, you need a star Puyo, and it's Mind Blast. Mind Blast will cause instant confusion to their foes, so that way you can gear up for the next attack. The level 4 spell, you need a Moon Puyo, and it'll be Judgment. This is Arle's second strongest attacks next to the one I'm going to be talking about soon. Arle will shoot a beam of energy in front of her. It's a little harder to hit, but it will do some good damage as well as some great knockback. And for the final spell, which you need a Crown Puyo for, is Bio-N. Arle will jump in a upward diagonal and shoot a bouquet of flowers around her. This move works exactly like Wolf's side special, only the hitbox rate is very big. It's not really easy getting the Bio-N spell because you have to make sure you don't get a lot of damage and you have to successfully keep hitting your character with your attacks as well as your Puyo. But trust me when I say it's a great reward if you can do a lot of those things. Because Bio-N, of course, is the most powerful spell Arle knows, so it is her most powerful attack. As for Amitie, she'll have Fireball. This works similarly as Arle's Fireball. Her second spell is Cyclone. The animation is similar to Ice Storm, but it'll actually trap foes in a gust of tornadoes so Arle can prepare for the next attack. Her level 3 is Tempest. She'll do the same animation again just like Mind Blast, but she'll shoot a ball of energy that'll explode into a tornado trapping foes. Her level 4 is Fairy Fair. This works exactly similarly to Judgment. And her ultimate is Bio-N. This works similarly to Arle's. For Arle's up special, it'll be Garbage Puyo Drop. Arle will throw garbage Puyos under her and then jump upwards. If you have 6 garbage Puyos less, you'll only throw the 6 garbage Puyos under you, but you won't get much height. If you have a red garbage Puyo or higher, you'll actually throw the garbage Puyo in that style. The higher level the garbage Puyo, the more stronger the attack will be, with each garbage Puyo even having a special effect like spiking or push away. You'll also be able to jump higher depending on how many garbage Puyos you have. And for the down special, it'll be Counter. Arle will summon a magical circle around her. If anyone hits Arle with a projectile or in a physical attack, they will do a counter attack. It's basically similar to most counters like Palutena's or Joker's. It'll deflect projectiles and also deflect attacks. However, the only difference is you'll actually double the amount of Puyos in your Puyo meter. So if you have 1 red garbage Puyo, you'll actually get 2 red garbage Puyos. Or if you have 3 red garbage Puyos, you'll automatically go straight to a star garbage Puyo. The final smash, it's Puyo Fever. Arle or Amitie will summon a giant Puyo in front of them. If it pops with any characters in front of them, they'll be caught in a slashing barrage attack. This final smash is similar to Ike's and Robin's final smash. The foe will be pelted with garbage Puyos from above, while Arle will be using all of her spells, Fireball, Ice Storm, Mind Blast, Judgment, and Bio-N, while Amitie will use her spells, Fireball, Cyclone, Tempest, Fairy Fair, and Bio-N. Of course, with Bio-N ending the combo attack. This is of course a reference to the Puyo Fever, as when you successfully make a chain of Puyos, you can do a combo barrage that'll instantly defeat your opponents. I wanted of course to reference that in their final smash. The odds of Arle and Amitie being in Smash, I could see Arle, but with Amitie being an Echo Fighter, it's really hard to say. I'm actually a big fan of the Puyo series, and would love to see the more puzzle games represented in Smash. The only character we have that's anywhere near as a puzzle game fighter is Dr. Mario, and nobody else. And I feel like that the puzzle genre is vastly underappreciated even in the Smash Bros. Series. So if they would add a character from a puzzle game, I definitely think it should be Arle Naja. Thank you for watching Set for Smash. This will be my season finale for this year, as I'll be taking a little break from this, but I will be coming back with shorter videos talking about stage concepts as well as Echo Fighter concepts for other characters. I'll be just taking a break from the moveset concepts from big name characters that could be in Smash Bros. But haven't appeared yet. And if you want to keep supporting this channel, well, you can just like, comment, and don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell for notifications. Thank you all so much for watching, and take a look at what Season 2's next moveset concept's gonna be.